So here we are in my kitchen. This project is becoming a little bit bigger than I initially thought it would. Are we ready for this? Please be good. What is that? Things clearly have changed. I'm so excited to see what happens in this room because I don't know right now. So here we are in my kitchen. I have never been too keen on sharing this space on YouTube because I don't really feel so inspired in here. I think it's not pretty. And I know that might sound ridiculous, but for me it's important. I need a space, the space I sleep in, the space I cook in, the space I live in. Even when I look out my window, it needs to be like enjoyable to me visually, as well as all the other important bits. Of course, I do try to cook from home more often than not, and I'm not a fan of these orange cabinets. I feel like it was a thing maybe in the 80s or 90s. I don't know when this was a thing, but this orangey yellowy wood tone, I have never ever been fond of it. And this kitchen has gone through a whole lot of transformation already. When I first moved in here, my landlord had this entire kitchen painted orange, and the appliances were very, very dated, and the floor was, I actually don't recall what the color of the floor was at the time, but just everything was old and dingy feeling to me. And over the years, I've had my appliances updated, and I didn't just go out and update them or ask my landlord to update them just because. I used them. I was very, very grateful to have appliances, a kitchen in general. I'm so grateful to have a kitchen. But I used them until they crapped out on their own. They just bit the dust one day. About within the same year, they both went. And at that point, my landlord very, very generously updated them to these beautiful, more modernized appliances, and they have been and are amazing. So another thing I want to mention briefly about my landlord is just how much I appreciate his openness to let me do whatever I want in this entire apartment, in this space. Most of what I do is renter friendly, mainly because just in case he really dislikes something, it can easily be reversed. And then also because I tend to change my mind often enough where I get tired of a setting, I get tired of how it looks, and I want to mix it up. But yes, he was like, have a ball, do whatever you would like, and that's it. And one day I will do, God willing, a tour of my entire home, and I will show you all of the befores that I have and where they are, where it is now, so all the before and afters. But for today, let's stay focused on this kitchen. So I've already started clearing things out, and I have to finish going through this mess. This is just some recyclables, and then, you know what, I threw out my garbage pail some weeks back, and I've been using this is how I've been doing my garbage. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. So I need to get a new garbage pail. Well, I don't need to, because I mean it does work, but I would like to. Again, another orange piece. This whole space needs to be reworked. But yeah, this is a disaster because I've been moving things all around and trying to figure things out. This has become a mess. I'm just, again, throwing things wherever I can at the moment. I'm gonna have jewelry cleaner next to my vitamins and food. So yeah, it's a problem. And through this room here, I have these shelves that I need to assemble. The legs are in the other room, and I'm going to put them all together. I'm actually going to be painting that as well. That's part of a different project, but yes, that's why you see that disaster. I'm going to take down all of the cabinet doors, clean them, unscrew the hardware, because I'll be replacing that, And I'd also like to completely empty them out, just reorganize everything. And then I'm going to give a little zhuzhing to these. I will not be painting them. I just feel like it will be a whole lot of a big job for me to paint them. I would paint my cabinets, I think, if I had a nice outdoor space, even if I had a balcony, but I feel like it'll be such a big job to paint these cabinets inside. So as much as I don't like this color, I'm feeling like if I clean it up really well, maybe I can work with it once it's entirely pulled together. It might be okay. It might be. So we'll see. We will try it out. Plus this wallpaper here, this is peel and stick wallpaper, which you might say doesn't look so bad. I mean, clearly it's faux brick. I'm thinking I'm going to take down this wallpaper and just paint the walls. Right now, but I just stayed up and finished at least the top portion of these cabinets, and I think it looks so pretty. I feel like they're so elevated, and I would usually never put blue in a kitchen, but I think the touch, I don't know, I just love it. So pretty. Okay, I don't know why I'm whispering, but off to bed. There it is. You know, I feel like this is the way it often goes, but this project is becoming a little bit bigger than I initially thought it would. At least I think it's going to be bigger than I thought it would, because I'm about to make, I'm like teetering on making this decision to do a lot more than I initially thought. I've taken everything off this wall, and I still have to move this one here, but everything else is off. I've emptied and cleared, and now I have to take this wallpaper down. I'm tired of it. You can definitely tell it's faux brick, and I just don't like that idea. And I also wasn't as good with wallpaper at the time, so it's definitely not really aligned that well. Okay, let me gather my thoughts. First off, as usual, in the middle of a project, everything's a disaster. And yes, here it is. This is the orange. This is the orange. And when I say that this was an orange kitchen, the entire kitchen. And on top of it, the very busted up cabinets. I still have to take out everything and reorganize and really just purge and get rid of what I really don't need. Because having it open for these days and just staring at it, it's such a mess, and you don't realize that how much mess you have behind doors. I still have to take the lower cabinets off, but I just wanted to show you. These still have to be taken off, like I said. I have to clean them because they're filthy. But even with washing them, they're in such bad shape. So I'm gonna show you the ones I've already papered, and they look way better. But at the end of the day, it's still this color that really is just not working for me, and it's still beat up. It's been here for many, many decades at this point, and it's beat up. And there's only so much I can do with cleaning and throwing some wallpaper on. So initially, I wanted to do this, and I did. I put this beautiful peel and stick wallpaper on all of the upper cabinets already, and it's very nice. It looks a lot better. These already came out so well that I don't really want to have to take this off and do something else to it and then put it back on. I don't know, because what I'm thinking about at this point, and I just got off the phone with a friend who was like, why don't you just chalk paint them? I don't know why I didn't think about that before, but chalk paint is a great solution, and I have used chalk paint on other projects. It's just when I thought painting, I was thinking spray painting so that they look better than brushing, and I just felt like rolling wouldn't work because of I felt that I couldn't paint them because they are varnished, and I'm not trying to do a bunch of sanding and stripping. But he was reminding me that chalk paint is an option because I might not need to strip it first, right? I think I can just give it a very light sand, and then chalk paint will adhere just fine. So yeah, the wheels are turning, and I'm like, oh, I've already got them off. I do really like this look of the wallpaper. It kind of looks a bit like a stained glass, so to speak, but not stained glass, of course. They're clearly not. But it's that same kind of idea where you have this pane in the middle. I think I'm actually going to paint them. And of course, it will be white. I'll paint them all white. And yet still keep the middle pane of this beautiful paper. I think that vision, I will just be so much happier with that. And because they'll be white and the walls will be white, there's going to be I think the space is going to feel bigger, actually. I think so. I'm actually really, really excited about this change. I'm really excited to do this. Let's just go all in. Let's do it. We're officially patched both sides. Once they're fully dried, I will give them a sand and we'll start priming. At like 3 a.m. I finished painting the primer. This is a paint that I didn't buy. This was in my closet. It's one that my landlord left me. Well, he just left it here. He has a lot of tools and painting supplies and things like that in one of the closets here. So I just went like rummaging through to see what I could find so I would spend less. I am trying to do this on a budget. And he had a whole gallon of white paint, and it's semi-gloss, and that's exactly what I want for this kitchen. White semi-gloss. And it's, well, I don't know if it's a whole gallon. It feels like it's mostly a gallon, but I can tell it's really old. It says Sherwin-Williams. Wait a minute, what's today? This is from July 22nd, 2017. That means, and it's pearl, white pearl. It's white pearl. I have no idea what this looks like. I don't know. But it's so old, this paint. I took it to Home Depot and I asked them to put it in the shaker, like the mixer. And they did, because I told them, I said, I'm afraid to open this thing. It's probably so separated and so old. Moment of truth. Are we ready for this? Please be good. It looks a little bit beige. I think it's so old it turned dark. Well, this is not white pearl. And if it's this color now, it's going to be darker once it dries on the wall. Oh man. Per usual, colors don't show up right on camera. It is a lot. It has a brown hue to it that is not showing up through my device right now. But it's kind of brown. And what is that? He left the paint roller in here. Why would you leave it? Has this been sitting in here for 6 years? Okay, I put some on the wall, just a little bit, and I'm going to see how it dries. I'm going to see how it looks, and then I'll decide. Oh, I have a lot of decisions to make. Oh, I'm so excited to see what happens in this room because I don't know right now. So I was able to mix the aged pearl with this semi-gloss white that I had, and it came out much lighter and just creamy, and I really, really liked it. So that's what I went ahead and painted that entire wall and the entire ceiling, and then just this smaller area of wall on one of the kitchen openings. And then on the back, where the backsplash would be, I actually put just a little second coat of primer. I really wanted that to be a little bit more covered up before putting in a backsplash, an actual very beautiful backsplash that I got, which will not be in this particular episode. That'll be in episode 2, just because this one I know is going to be a little bit too long. But yeah, here's what happened next. This is it, folks. This is the color for my cabinets. Are you ready? It's called Serenity Blue. Not at all what I was initially thinking. Things clearly have changed. And in an effort, again, to use what I have on hand, I have this whole quart of chalk paint, and I have had it for years. I don't remember what I purchased it for. I think I was going to use it for my spare room, but I changed my mind. I used something else in there. And so this Serenity Blue has never been opened. It's light enough that it's not going to feel heavy and dark on that side of the kitchen. And I'm really looking forward to having this pop of color. I've never been a fan of blue in kitchens, depending on the type of blue. I would never use blue like what's on my gloves right now. I would never use that color blue, and I would never use like dark blues, ever. But this is called Serenity Blue, and it's not really blue. It is in the name, but there's a lot more. It's more of a greenish blue. It's much lighter than a teal. This is going to be okay. This is a type of blue that I can roll with for in a kitchen. I'm just so excited. it's a little surreal to me that I'm finally doing this because I've been in this apartment for so many years. It's not gonna look like the same kitchen. It's not even gonna look like the same home. I'm so excited. So this is the color it's supposed to be, and this is not even close. It's like a baby blue, and it's coming off a little bit darker on camera. It's supposed to have a lot of green or gray in it, whatever this is. I'm just extremely disappointed. Maybe this would work for someone else, but it just doesn't for me. Baby blue in my kitchen is not the color I want. The inside came out nice. I'm liking that, which is the same color as that wall. All right, guys, this is the color we started with. And then I shifted it to this stage and painted over this one. But I feel like the blue was still showing through a lot. It still looked a lot bluer than this. So then I shifted it up another stage to this color, which is, it's really like when it dries dark with a couple of coats, it's a beautiful sage green. And that is by far my favorite one. However, there have been some shifts, some changes, and I will share all of those details with you in part 2, where we actually bring this kitchen together. We finish it, we do all the pretty bits. This part 1 was really just the ugly stuff, getting it undone, getting some paint on the walls, trying to figure out what direction it's going. And guys, let me tell you that it actually came out just so beautifully, and I cannot wait to show you, because it's interesting that when things don't go exactly as you expect or plan, sometimes the outcome is still amazing. I mean, I can't give anything away just yet, but be sure you're subscribed, be sure you come back, be sure you watch part 2, because I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. It's not at all what I initially envisioned the outcome to be, but I love it so much, and it's still a type of style that I do really enjoy. And yeah, I'm very excited. I can't wait to show you. So yeah, I will see you again very soon. Take care.